Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle this really fascinating puzzle from an ancient text. But, this is about more than just history. We're going to uncover a powerful tool for thinking more clearly, a method that can help us navigate not just old documents, but any complex, confusing information we run into today. So our case study starts right here, with what looks like a major contradiction in the Bible. In one part, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the Apostle Paul seems to totally affirm women speaking and participating in public worship. But then, just a few pages later in chapter 14, he seems to say the exact opposite. Women should be silent. So, what gives? Is this a flat-out contradiction, or is there some deeper context that we're just missing? This kind of puzzle forces us to ask a much bigger question. How can a single source lead to such radically different conclusions? And maybe more importantly, how can we develop the skills to sort through this kind of conflict ourselves?
And let's be real, this isn't just an ancient problem, right? We are constantly swimming in competing interpretations. In the news we read, the data we see, even the arguments we have with friends. It really highlights this critical need for a process, a clear way to cut through all that noise.
Biblical scholar Dr. Gary Meadors frames this problem perfectly. He points out that we have one text, but a whole universe of interpretations. And that's even among experts who've spent their entire lives studying it. This challenge is really at the heart of what we're going to unpack together.
So, to tackle this very challenge, Dr. Meadors introduces a really powerful process he calls validation. Think of it less like a strict set of rules and more like a framework for intellectual honesty, a way to understand a topic fully before we jump to our own conclusions.
And what this definition really gets at is fighting against our own biases. See, validation isn't about quickly finding an answer that just feels right or confirms what we already think. No, it's about deliberately slowing down, doing the hard work of research, and understanding all the competing views before you even begin to form your own judgment.
The process itself breaks down beautifully into these 4 clear steps. First, you surface all the different interpretations that are out there. Then, you organize what each side is actually claiming. Next, you compare them. You see how they're using the same evidence to get to totally different places. And finally, you create what Dr. Meadors playfully calls a grocery list, basically a systematic map of the entire conversation.
Okay, now let's get to what might be the single most important rule in this entire process. And honestly, this is a principle that applies whether you're studying ancient texts or trying to make sense of a modern political debate.
This slide highlights a distinction that is absolutely critical in any kind of research. A primary source is the originator of the idea. You're getting it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. A secondary source, on the other hand, is just someone else reporting on that idea. To really understand a position, you just can't rely on summaries or critiques. You have to go directly to the source.
As Dr. Meadors puts it so well, you need to hear the absolute strongest, most convincing version of an argument. And you're just not going to get that from an opponent who is actively trying to poke holes in it. It means you have to engage with the idea in its purest form from the person who actually believes it.
And he gives us this brilliant, simple little rule of thumb. No footnotes, no good. If a writer or a speaker isn't telling you where they got their information, if they aren't being transparent about their sources, that should be a huge red flag.
All right, so let's circle back. We've got our tool, this validation process. What happens when we actually apply it to that original puzzle from 1 Corinthians 14, the one about women needing to be silent in church?
Well, what happens when you apply this process? It turns out scholars haven't found just 2 or 3 interpretations. They've identified at least 7 distinct, academically defended views on what this one passage means. 7.
And just look at the incredible range here. I mean, it is a wild spectrum of ideas. One view says, yep, take it literally. Another says it's only about judging prophecy. Get this, some respected scholars argue these verses weren't even in the original letter, that they were added by a scribe centuries later. And others suggest Paul is actually quoting a slogan from a group he disagrees with so that he can then refute it. It just proves that a quick, surface-level reading is never the full story.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, as you can see here, this is about way more than just one tricky passage from an ancient book. This is not a spectator sport. This is a skill for life.
This quote from Dr. Meadors just captures the whole idea perfectly. Engaging with complex information, whether it's a sacred text, a scientific study, or a political headline, it demands that we actually participate. We have to get our hands dirty, do the work, and really wrestle with the material ourselves.
The goal here is to move beyond simply reading and reacting, and instead build toward a reasoned judgment. That means doing the research, listening to the strongest arguments from all sides, and holding our own conclusions with a bit of humility. It means having the confidence to say, you know what, I need to study this more. It's all about being an active participant in your own understanding.
Look, this validation process isn't some secret tool just for academics. It's a practical method for literally anyone who wants to think more clearly and engage more deeply with our complicated world. So the question to leave you with is, what's a topic you're ready to validate?